Hey everybody, I hope that you're all doing well. Where we are starting the reading is with an energy of moving forward. So whether this was something that's going on that you can now kind of move on from, or you can, let's keep it with that sort of thing. Whatever this is that you're moving in the direction of, even though something can really feel at this point like whatever it was that you were working on or working through, you have sort of concluded that now at this point, and so you can be moving forward. You may actually have even more questions now than you did before. So this can be something where you're like, well, that answers that for me, but now I have like all of these questions opening up that I'm trying to figure out. And you can also still be processing too something that in certain ways it's over, but in certain ways it's not over. You know, it's like one of those situations where like maybe technically the situation is over, but you're still processing. Maybe you're still processing mentally, maybe emotionally. Maybe you're also just coming to terms with things. And now can be a time when like choices have been made and paths have been chosen, yet there can still be some underlying questions, some unanswered questions that are kind of looming around. So I'm definitely seeing you moving forward with things, and I'm also definitely seeing there be unanswered questions still. The way that Ten of Swords is coming out is sideways. And what that can mean is sort of being like in a little bit of an in-between space where I think there's like a natural conclusion that's being come to, but at the same time it can be something that you still don't feel like you're finished working through or processing right now. It's interesting because starting off with Six of Swords shows movement. So you're no longer sitting within the space anymore trying to figure things out. Enough has been figured out that there can be some sort of movement that's happening now. And the feeling of, okay, I'm moving forward. Yet I'm also seeing too something that is still being looked into here and figured out, and maybe even still being reflected on, or you're just processing what it is that's happened. Now I'm looking at Seven of Cups and I'm looking at the Empress reverse, and this is immediately giving a feeling of getting to know yourself better in ways that you may not be totally clear on. So this can be stuff about your own energy that you have questions about, and it can be anything from like skill set to purpose to things that you like, things that you don't like, your values and whatnot, what you're capable of even. This can be what you want to be expressing, what you want to birth through you materialistically even. This can be something that's still being sorted out right now, and you may not be feeling, I think you're getting more and more in touch, but you may feel like you're going to check in with a part of yourself that maybe you don't have all totally figured out right now. It can be a place where you maybe aren't fully expressing yourself. Or there can be, it can be somewhere where you're not fully expressing yourself because of stuff going on mentally still. I'm seeing a lot of energy that looks like in between. So things are getting better. You're still making sense of things. Something is closing out. A next chapter is beginning. Yeah, whatever was going on, it could have felt like kind of concerning to you. What this can mean too is that maybe you like weren't feeling very magnetic or very attractive in the given circumstance, whatever it may be. Even if this is just you like creatively expressing yourself, maybe you were having some sort of creative block here. Maybe you were having some sort of issue with manifesting something that you wanted to manifest. Maybe you were like, how do I get in touch with this side of myself? How do I do this? How do I connect with what it is that I want? Because when Empress is upright, we are sitting in this place where we feel like the things that we need, they come to us. So we just have to sit within that energy and the things arrive. That's an aspect of the Empress energy. But there could have been something about a fear of like, I don't know if this is going to come together, or I don't know if this is going to come to me. And there can be a little bit of discord when it comes to your relationship with that part of yourself, and it can have maybe been a confusing time where you were still figuring things out. I'm getting something about silly string coming through. That's interesting. So about this energy, when we have Empress reversed and we have Nine of Swords, there can be a fear that what is meant to be sort of like showing up and coming to you, because Empress is also in certain ways about the things that you have to be sitting there in a place of reception in order for things to show up. It's not masculine energy, this is feminine energy. If it were masculine energy, it's like seizing the day and going after what you want. But when we have the feminine energy, this is about what's kind of like naturally emanating and what comes through as it relates to that. And there could have been something where you were maybe, let's say you like give off a particular vibration that ensures that everything that you need sort of comes through and falls into place and appears. Having the Empress reversed and having Nine of Swords can be like, I'm not feeling really confident within that aspect of my relationship with myself. And then I'm feeling kind of all over the place here, not knowing what's going on and what's going to happen. And is the opportunity going to be there that I need? Or am I going to be left high and dry here within this circumstance? And it's hard to work with this part of yourself when you feel like it's not totally online. And then it can make it feel complicated when you're trying to get in touch with things, because you're like, what is my intuition telling me here? So you could have been feeling kind of disconnected, and this looks like it was coming from a place of like fear and anxiety that could have been creating some static on the line. But then I'm actually seeing things be good. This pertains to a current investment that you have going on. So something that you're maneuvering currently through within your life. So it's like a series that's being played right now. All of this stuff just for things to be okay. Because I'm actually seeing things end up being fine, and then I'm seeing there be a sense of relief, but I'm seeing like a lot of concern and a lot of worry that was there. So something could have been very much preoccupying things with you. You could have had a lot of questions about things. You could have been like, what's going to be happening? You could have also felt like there was like too much going on maybe to make sense of, to be able to work this through. But then I'm seeing like what needs to be there ends up being there. It's kind of like you recognizing what's presenting itself to you, how you can work with that, and how you can make the situation work too. But before, you could have been focused on maybe things other than seeing the opportunity that was there, but then it feels like recognizing the opportunity. But yeah, you could have had some anxiety that was blocking this a little bit for you. This can be also some massive overthinking that was happening as well, where you could have felt like very much the opposite of free, but then working within this situation, things start falling into place, and then you kind of feel like liberated once again, like, oh, what a relief. Now I don't have to be worrying about that. I'm not concerned with this anymore. But there definitely were like real concerns that were popping up, but I think a lot of this was coming from your own narrative that was manifesting through this disconnect with yourself that you'd been feeling. Meaning, like, maybe you weren't feeling so confident, maybe you weren't feeling so sure within yourself. Maybe there was something here about, it feels like it all ties back to sense of self, relationship with self, and a concern about like what's going on physically around you, and feeling for some reason like you were not in a place of full power, and so questioning things that were sort of going on and feeling very, very unsure and maybe unstable within the given circumstance. I'm hearing Libra. I am seeing Cancer, and I'm also seeing Venus here. Whatever this is, I'm seeing it be cleared up now. So I'm not seeing it be so much of an issue anymore at this point. But maybe this is just recognizing that something was feeling quite concerning, and it may have forced you to kind of work with your psyche, it feels like. Yeah, it's like whatever this situation was that was going on, and sometimes there's some like unknowns or ambiguity that we have to work with. This could have been like a highlight reel of everything that you were worried about, everything that you were concerned about, all of the fears that you have being projected onto this scenario, only for those things not to happen. Because whatever this is that you have going on, whatever is cooking in the kitchen for you right now, I'm seeing something that's really important and really aligned for you. So I'm not seeing there be any issues with that. This feels like it's really connected with your journey, that everything's going well with this, that you're very much on track. I'm not seeing you be off track, but definitely something going on. Yeah, whatever it was, I get like this mental overstimulation that was happening and could have like actually really thrown you off. It's like had to get to a place of seeing yourself clearly after having not been in that place, and then seeing what's in front of you, and then kind of like knowing the move to make here and like having the energy to do so. But this seems like it kind of was forcing you to relax, because that part of you that likes to have control over what's going on, that's also the other thing too with the Empress, is that you don't really, you have to sit within the energy and allow things to fall into place in the way that they need to. Control is connected with the Emperor, not the Empress. The Empress is not connected with controlling things within the environment in that way. It's kind of like what's naturally coming up and letting, it's kind of like the Empress, when we're connected with it, we have the faith to be taking the next step, knowing that what's going to need to be there to be the foundation for our footing, it will be there for us so we can step forward confidently. But this could have been something that was going on where it could have had you feeling kind of upside down within the energy. But now it seems like things are actually squared away, so I'm not so much seeing that be a concern. And starting off with Six of Swords indicates that alleviation of pressure then, of like, okay, things are moving forward now, it's okay now, I'm not worried anymore. Whatever that was that I was moving through, things are just calming down now at this point. So definitely just keep your head up. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.